Most people spend years trying to figure life out. They read the books, watch the videos, and try the routine, yet they still remain stuck. But what if I told you that there is a way to win in life so fast that it almost feels illegal? Kinda like you're cheating the system. I'm not talking about some overnight success fantasy. I'm talking about using real, proven strategies that accelerate your growth mentally, physically, financially, and get you the results that you're looking for in months, where it takes people years to do the same. I've used these exact systems myself. But what's way more impressive is that I've seen firsthand thousands of people all across the world adopt these systems and also transform their lives, who had started just as confused, as lost as you may be right now. The truth is, life isn't always just about working harder, but moving smarter, knowing where to best put your energy and time. And I'm going to give you that clarity today. My name is Junyu. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. In this, I will be going over 4 really important daily wins that have made my life what I could have never imagined to be. Successful from every societal metric that you may use, whether it be my academic success, financial success, my business success. But more important than that, it's allowed me to never lose my roots. It's allowed me to remain aligned to my purpose, which I think is the biggest win. And therefore, I want you to adopt these wins yourself, and I will describe them in great detail, provide examples, make it easy for you to integrate, so by the time that you come out of it, you know exactly what to do. If you have any questions, leave them below, give this video a thumbs up, and of course, subscribe. With that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. I want to first discuss your mental win. This will be 15 minutes of intentional learning. The purpose here is simple. You sharpen your thinking, you remain curious, and this allows you to grow your skill sets in the long term. I want to clarify here, learning should feel enjoyable. It should feel light, if you will, and not overwhelming. So don't treat this like school where you feel like the learning has to be so incredibly rigid. No, I actually want you to be genuinely curious about the topics that you decide to learn more about. Pick just one topic per day. For example, you may say, I want to learn how to create a YouTube video today. Or you may say, I want to learn how to better manage my finances. And always remember that you can choose a format that actually works with your lifestyle and not against it. For example, if you're commuting, an audiobook or a podcast are perfect. Or if you're on a treadmill in the gym, perhaps you want to watch an educational YouTube video. If you're tired, maybe you like to do a light read, or you decide on having an interesting conversation with your friend. Or if you're walking, maybe you want to listen back on some audio recordings that you've created to best summarize a book, or to summarize a class topic, or to summarize anything that you may have read. The most important tip here is to always have at least one key takeaway after the 15 minutes of intentional learning. If you can't have a key takeaway and apply it in your life, then no learning was done. Moreover, I understand that 15 minutes may not seem like a lot of time, but I promise you, you will be surprised when you actually go in with the focus of extrapolating meaningful information, how much utility that you get out of that 15-minute session. Or perhaps try keeping a knowledge library in your Google Docs or in your notes or on a Notion template, because this way, in real time, you can collect this information and you can always be able to go back to it and understand the major takeaways per each of your sessions. A really easy way to set this up is with one column on topic, then the second column being the medium that you've chosen or the format, and the third being the key takeaway. Here then you should have a quick summary that you can always go back to, especially when you're thinking about particular resources that you may have come across in the past. Next, I want to discuss the physical win, which is 45 minutes of movement. The purpose here is simple. You want to look good, but more importantly, feel good. You want to have the energy to fuel your businesses, to fuel your time with loved ones, to fuel your classes. You want to be able to sustain the hardships that life throws at you without necessarily being physically depleted. Movement, by the way, always changes your mood. You cannot tell me that there are experiences in which you've really not wanted to go to the gym and you came out of it regretting that you went to the gym. Usually that will not be the case, as in when you do move, no matter how much you hate it, it will in fact change your mood, and there's a lot of science behind this. And I really want to clarify that you do not need a gym to do this. First of all, home workouts are great, and even during quarantine, that's what I did for majority of the time, and I actually saw a lot of development, especially while doing push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups. Or go for a walk while perhaps calling somebody that you love. And also I feel that stretching tends to be underrated. I had a 20-hour flight to Dubai, and to get my 45 minutes of movement in, I segmented my stretches across the flight. And by the time I got off the flight, those stretches really did help so that I wasn't feeling horrible by the time that I got off. Or maybe you just want to dance around your room, dance more, right? Like, I think that that's cool. Turn some music on, feel good in it, do whatever you need to do to get those 45 minutes of movement in. And also, you don't have to do the 45 minutes again in all one setting. I've just told you, even in my flights, I segmented, but maybe you want to do a 20-minute walk in the morning, you want to do a 25-minute stretch at night, or maybe you want to do a 20-minute run in the morning, you want to do, let's say, a 30-minute gym session at night. Any of that, if it accounts for a total of 45 minutes, you've accomplished your physical win. Here's a bonus tip for especially busy seasons. You can always kill two birds with one stone by combining a physical win with a mental win. Let's say that you're going out for a run, but you want to also listen to an audiobook at the same time. My only suggestion is to actually document and log that key takeaway immediately after your run, because it's easy to assume that you've actively participated with that learning material when the reality is that you may have not consolidated that information to your best ability. I want to now discuss the spiritual win, which is 15 minutes of reflecting and reconnecting with your purpose. The mission here is simple. You want to stay grounded, find meaning in what you do, and also a lot of times this practice actually reduces a lot of the anxiety, overthinking, and stress that we often feel in a day-to-day experience. By now, it's likely very clear that I'm a man of faith, and for me, my spiritual win has everything to do with my religion. However, for you, that does not have to be the case. You see, your purpose may differ from mine, and that's okay. And in fact, I actually encourage you to further explore it and ask yourself the question of, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is there meaning behind the work that I'm doing? Is there meaning behind me going to school? Is there meaning behind this business that I'm pursuing? Is there meaning behind me doing a personal brand? And this will take time. It's not necessarily that you will define an answer overnight, but if you continuously challenge yourself to best understand and uncover what it is that you feel is your purpose, there's great power in that, right? Because we all know if everything that you do in life is for yourself, life will quickly throw something at your way that is much bigger than you that you will not be able to overcome. So what is your anchor? There are so many ways that a physical win can be done, whether it's through meditation, whether it's gratitude practice, whether it's through reading your scripture, whether it's through prayer, whether it's through reconnecting with a loved one, whether it's you nurturing the relationships that you have, whether it's you simply doing good for the world without expecting anything back. The spiritual win is simply about what it is that makes you feel good, that makes you feel connected to your purpose. If you're struggling with this, and again, I understand that the spiritual win may seem like the most abstract, but I promise you in due practice, you'll understand how practical it really is. My favorite part about the spiritual win is that it keeps your ego in check. You start to realize that not everything in life is about having success or about go, or about making more money, about getting a better grade or any of that. In reality, life is so much bigger than that. And the moment you can kind of take a bird's eye view, which a spiritual win forces you to do, the more likely you'll be able to live your life on a consistent basis akin to you, and not necessarily being pushed a certain direction because the societal expectations and norms are forcing you to feel or behave that way. Especially when you're lost, you should be prioritizing this win, but on a day-to-day, if you can always spend 15 minutes doing something to reflect or reconnect to your purpose, great things will happen in regards to building that life, yes, that may be financially successful, academically successful, career successful, but the main idea is that it'll actually be the life that you've cultivated. It's a life that feels akin to you, and I actually think that's probably the most important thing about this all. The fourth win I want to discuss is the honest accountability win for 15 minutes. The purpose here is also simple. You want to build self-awareness, confidence, an ability to be consistent, an ability to actually keep yourself in check, whether things are good or whether things are bad. But this confidence part is really important because confidence is having an undeniable stack of proof that you are exactly who you say that you are. So often we're told to kind of beat our chest in front of a mirror and act like we're confident and fake it till we make it. But real confidence comes from actually doing the work. And real confidence isn't just work as in what do you see externally, but the internal work, right? Of have I actually gone through the trauma experiences so that I can best rationalize with my life and that I don't actually bring upon those habits and tendencies of behavior onto my own kids in the future. Real accountability looks like looking at yourself in the mirror and realizing, yeah, I didn't do these things so well. Looking at yourself and being able to tell you that, yeah, cool, I might think I'm important, but I'm actually not that important, and maybe I'm taking life a bit too seriously. Honest accountability is the harsh, raw truth that if you could expose yourself to on a regular basis, that you have an opportunity to do some really incredible things in your life, because this ensures that on a daily basis, you're actually going upwards, right? You're trending upwards. It doesn't mean that life will be linear. Yes, there would be some bumps along the road, but you can always ensure that there is a direction. Like, you know that you're pushing yourself there. And sometimes life will have this funny way of pushing you off course because of a societal expectation, but honest accountability makes sure that you're getting back onto it, right? It's so fundamental to the way that we treat life, to the way that we approach life. And there are so many great ways to practice with this, but I want to first start off with journaling. You can see my journal right here, but journaling is a great way to create distance between you and your thoughts. And this is so important because you can better rationalize with yourself this way. Think about it. If you are not writing anything down, you have so many things that are ongoing in this brain of yours, and we all know that the working memory is limited, meaning that it can only take on so many different inputs at once. So if you are not going through the daily practice of actually pulling some of that stuff out of your brain, you are going to do a lot of bad things. In regards to, let's say when you are saying you have short-term memory, just go journal, okay? I'm telling you, I am like Dory in Finding Nemo, and I tend to have short-term memory, but it's usually happening when I'm in the busiest seasons of my life. When I can get some structure and I can journal some of these things out and I can better rationalize with myself, I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? I was so stressed and so anxious, but it's not that bad. Or maybe these are the priorities and I can ensure that I get those things done, right? So when you can journal, again, it creates that distance, and instead of you going at war with yourself and your own brain, it allows you to make better sense of it. But I do want to mention some other mediums that may be better suited for you. I know a lot of people actually prefer even doing video recordings of themselves. They'll have their MacBook up or their computers in general and then record themselves and almost treat it like a visual diary, or you might have an audio diary and you want to do voice memos to yourself. That might be another great way. Another great option is to formulate an accountability network of some kind. So for us, we have this program called the Discipline Mentorship, where literally every single day at every single hour of the day, there are a group of accountability friends that you can count on to keep you on track with your work. It's the coolest experience ever. Literally, I believe everyone should try and experience this within our group because it is so cool. And therefore, I just came back from a run at 11 p.m. exhausted, didn't want to do it. Brought up the accountability group and saw my little friends in there while they were doing work, while some of them were training. It was just a beautiful moment because then it forces me to actually get the work done. Another really great way is to potentially do a public statement of this. So a lot of people have done the June's 4 wins. So these are the 4 wins that we've just talked about. The accountability win is the 4th. People will post stories with June's 4 wins, and I will keep them accountable. And I can do the exact same thing for you. And because other people are doing the same way, then likely they'll follow you and they'll ensure that you're remaining accountable for all of the commitments that you've made. It's a really great way to publicly define something where, again, it's in more of a controlled environment. You're not necessarily just telling every single person about it, right? Like, you're telling your friends and family, you're posting on social media. It could be a way in which you make use of what a healthy movement like the June's 4 wins is all about. I also want to be very clear. You're not necessarily only tracking productivity. It's not like a to-do list here. It's not like, okay, did I do X or did I not do it? And because I didn't do it, then I failed. No, it's much deeper than that. It's almost as if you're asking yourself questions like this. Did I lead with intention today? Even if I didn't get the things that I wanted to get done, did I actually have an objective in mind, and did I actually approach my day with that strategy in place? Or maybe a question that you ask yourself is, was I kind enough to myself today? Was I too hypercritical? Was I overthinking about the way that I had a speech in class? Or was I overthinking about the document that I developed for work? Were you nice to yourself? Because you probably did do a very good job, but overthinking the process and being mean and self-critical to yourself may not be beneficial, and keeping yourself accountable for that is also just as important. The truth is, accountability is the glue that keeps the other three together, right? If you can imagine a Venn diagram, it's the mind, the body, the spirit, and accountability is right in that middle, where without it, you won't be able to ensure that you're actually providing sufficient effort across all the wins, right? It's needed, and it's the thing that will ensure that you're remaining consistent. There's so many different ways that you could structure your days around this, but a lot of people tend to have like these peak productivity windows where they'll just smash out the 90 minutes of the wins. It's almost like ripping off a Band-Aid each day. You know that you're investing and showing up time for yourself each day in that allotted time. Or some people like to spread it across, and they'll have their mornings dedicated to physical wins, their lunch areas or their mid-afternoons be really predicated around a spiritual win, and then maybe later on in the day they're doing a mental win, and before they go to bed then they're doing journaling to do their honest accountability win. However you decide to structure for yourself works properly. I just encourage you to prioritize getting the 4 done. The truth is, it's 90 minutes, right? If you can't show up for yourself for 90 minutes every single day, but you're showing up for your bosses, you're showing up for your friends, you're showing up for your family, it's a problem. Like there's a severe problem there. And I would subtract 90 minutes from any one of your screen times that you've had this past week, and I guarantee you can make time for it. It's what my mentor told me to, and that is all for this video. So if you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe. I love you guys so much. Please take care of yourselves, and I will see you all at the top.